Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Just yesterday and the day before, everyone was reporting the same thing. Donald Trump's announcing that he's going to be arrested on Tuesday morning. Most of the headlines, Donald Trump to be arrested, Donald Trump arrested, Manhattan DA indictments coming down the pike early next week. It seemed rather definitive because, Donald Trump was saying it himself, I'm going to be arrested. Well, in just 24 short hours, how things can change and change so quick. All of a sudden, it seems as though that might not be the case. At least not on Tuesday, as the whole thing might now be put on hold. And what I'm thinking here is that this might all be part of the plan. Donald Trump is a weird type of genius. And I don't mean in the online conspiratorial, trust the process, trust the plan, 4chan Q kind of thing, where literally everything that happens is part of some sort of calculation. But in terms of Donald Trump's ability to keep his name in the media, keep his name in the press, and drive a specific narrative about himself, the man is and has been a genius way before he even got into politics. And this might all be one epic outplay from Donald Trump to turn this whole thing in his favor. Let's have a conversation about that. Let me show you guys the most recent reports, as supposedly there's one witness left. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so take a look at this from PJ Media. Hold everything. Now Trump will likely not be arrested, at least not on Tuesday. Donald Trump announced on Saturday morning that he would be arrested on Tuesday, and the nation has been agog at the prospect of the leftist establishment crossing the Rubicon of arresting its principal opponent on flimsy charges and demonstrating before the entire world that the American Republic is now the American Banana Republic, in which foes of the regime can expect the full weight of corrupt government authority pushing back against them for daring to dissent. But now it turns out that the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, which has Trump in its sights, just may be stepping back from the brink. Business Insider reported on Saturday night that Trump's indictment is now on hold until one more witness testifies Monday afternoon. It's about all that has come to light, as the relevant authorities are being quite close-mouthed about this whole thing. Insider says that a source with knowledge of the investigation told them on Saturday night there is one more witness. The indictment is apparently not a certainty until this witness testifies. But who is this witness? The insider source wouldn't say, and so all that we're told is that a separate source who also spoke on condition of anonymity told Insider that the witness is not Allen Weisselberg, Trump's former CFO, who is serving a 5-month sentence for admittedly masterminding a payroll tax dodge scheme at the Trump Organization. Meanwhile, Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, whose betrayal of his former client started this whole business about Trump having paid hush money to a porn star, which is what he might be arrested for, not any of the literally dozens of other crimes that Democrats have claimed he has committed over the last few years, up to and including trying to supposedly overthrow the government of the United States, has told reporters that he expected to be the grand jury's final witness when he testified last Monday and Wednesday, so whoever is slated to appear on Monday is a surprise witness. Insider notes that the grand jury could conceivably reach a vote on whether or not to actually indict Trump for trying to buy I don't want to say that word on YouTube, so I'll say an individual who wants to sell their body's silence by the end of Monday's 3-hour session. But that's not likely to happen, as experts say that there are several steps between the final testimony and the vote. Now, if we have learned anything over the last few years, it's not to trust the confident assertions of quote experts. But this could well mean that Trump will not be indicted on Tuesday, as there simply won't be time after the surprise witness testimony on Monday to go through all the necessary steps to issue the indictment. Once testimony concludes, prosecutors will charge the jury, meaning go through the potential counts on a charge sheet one by one, explaining each count in the potential indictment. Several other steps follow that before there can be any indictment. The principal charge is expected to be a felony falsifying business records in the first degree, which would be based on the claim that Trump was involved in falsifying records to conceal the payment to the quote porn actress. Meanwhile, Trump continues to deny that he had any liaison with the unsavory individual at all, and certainly there are precedents for wealthy individuals and groups paying out sums to claimants even though they know that the claims are false, just to get them to go away. The fact that this one didn't is of course directly related to the fact that Trump became president and challenged the hegemony of leftist elitists. Trump has called this hush money prosecution a scam, injustice, mockery, and a complete and total weaponization of law enforcement in order to effect a presidential election. Well, yeah, the left's reaction reaction to Donald Trump's political career has from the beginning been a classic case of a conviction in search of a crime. Charging their foes with bogus crimes is a vulnerable and tested leftist tactic, going back to Stalin's trials of his former Bolshevik comrades, whom he forced to confess to various fabricated charges of subversion in order to justify his executing them and consolidating his power as an unquestioned autocrat. In the US, the Democrats enjoyed tremendous gains in both the House of Congress and won the presidency on the strength of Watergate. They've never forgotten that lesson. In fact, tarring their opponents as criminals on bogus charges has become a cornerstone of their political strategy, and that is a prelude to treating them like actual criminals, complete with arrests, handcuffs, and perp walks. Whether or not it comes Tuesday, it's coming. And so all of a sudden, the situation's changed a little bit. Supposedly, according to legal experts, it's now literally impossible for Donald Trump to actually be arrested on Tuesday morning. There's now a surprise witness showing up before the grand jury, and this now creates a scenario where the grand jury will not be able to deliberate and make their final decision, go through all the processes in order to reach the stage of actual indictment on Tuesday morning. Now, many people are saying that this is just delaying the inevitable, that regardless of what happens, Donald Trump is going to be indicted here. New York Democrats are banking on the fact that they believe that a New York City jury would never acquit Donald Trump and that their plan is essentially foolproof. But Donald Trump has a different opinion. We'll have to see how this whole thing plays out. Identity of Monday's surprise witness testifying before a New York grand jury revealed. President Trump says the witness will supposedly present conclusive and irrefutable evidence clearing him. Here's the news from Red State. Major development occurs in Trump arrest saga. Identity of surprise witness is revealed. Who is the witness? According to Insider, the site that actually broke the news of the indictment not being final, claimed that it's Robert Costello, who has represented Steve Bannon and Rudy Giuliani. Trump claims that Costello, who he calls a highly respected lawyer, has conclusive and irrefutable proof that should put him in the clear. What that actually amounts to is anyone's guess. Trump is obviously going to say that regardless, and the nature of Costello's relationship with Trump's orbit is going to complicate his credibility, of course, but if he has documentation or something otherwise concrete, perhaps he could turn the entire grand jury on its head. Besides, Michael Cohen is not without his own credibility issues, being a convicted felon and someone with an obvious axe to grind. The cornerstone of his claim will rest on the audio recording of Trump that he provided, showing the former president ordering the hush money payment to Stormy Daniels. Donald Trump released this post on Truth Social, just reported that the most important witness to go before the New York City grand jury, a highly respected lawyer who once represented convicted felon, jailbird, and serial fake storyteller and liar Michael Cohen, will be doing so tomorrow afternoon. The information he will present will supposedly be conclusive and irrefutable. Witch hunt. And so the most recent development here is that the indictment will not come on Tuesday morning. It doesn't mean that it's not coming, but it will not come Tuesday morning. At least that's what we're able to gather so far. And that supposedly this last-minute surprise witness to testify in front of the grand jury will apparently present irrefutable evidence that clears Donald Trump's name. Things are obviously getting interesting here. The only information that we have are little bits that are getting into the media and what Donald Trump is telling us. Like most stories, though, there's one side, there's the other side, and then of course there's the truth. We'll have to see exactly what happens. My perspective remains the same, that no matter what happens here, this is an illegitimate weaponization of the justice system to criminalize and demonize the former president of the United States, a man standing in challenge of the uniparty establishment. Clearly, that can't be accepted. We'll have to see where this goes. We'll have to see just how corrupt the Democrat justice system can get in a state like New York. We'll have to see how deeply and disgustingly partisan a New York grand jury can be. But it's possible that Donald Trump knows that he's going to get ahead of this. He's painting himself as a political martyr, exposing this corrupt indictment witch hunt in New York, exposing what they're doing quietly behind the scenes. Clearly, they don't want this stuff to go public, but he's making it go public, and if it doesn't land anywhere, well, then it's just positive press for Donald Trump, and it's exposing more and more people to the disgusting, despicable, partisan bias actions of the leftist establishment and continuing to paint Donald Trump in a positive light. I'll keep you guys updated on everything. So far, that's what we have. It's relatively inconclusive, but it's at least something. Those are all the factors. Those are all the facts. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, friends, and I'll see you on the next one.